Hi, OJ. I never thought I would end up like this. If you saw me from the outside, you would think I've got it all. Luxury cars, designer clothes, more money than I ever could spend. But behind the closed doors of my bedroom, there's a dark truth. They say there's no peace for the wicked. And now I know what that means. Despite all my riches, peace is a stranger to me. You see, OJ, I sleep in the coffin every night, and I can't even take a vacation without ensuring I'm back before midnight so I could lock myself inside that coffin. It's a constant suffocating reminder of the price I have to pay for this life. It all began in 2018, a year that tore my life apart. Back then, I used to be a devoted Christian. It's easy to praise God when life is going well, but when everything starts falling apart, faith can slip through your fingers like water. My marriage of 10 years crumbled. My wife filed for divorce. We had been high school sweethearts, but over time, love turned to be resentment. I didn't even fight the divorce. I think deep down, I knew it was over long before she did. That divorce didn't just wreck me emotionally, it shattered me financially. I had to sell our home, pay off legal fees, and settle the mountain of debt we had gathered. I had a small business before, but everything fell apart after the split. I ended up drowning in debt, relying on temporary bank loans just to survive. My life spiraled downwards, each day worse than the last. Calls from creditors never stopped. My car got taken away by my creditors, and I ended up in a cramped apartment, a world away from the life I once knew. I'd sit in that apartment, staring at the peeling paint on the wall, wondering how it all went so wrong. I was desperate, OJ, trapped in a hole I couldn't dig out myself. That's when I heard about the coffin ritual. I had heard whispers before, but I always brushed them away as just stories. Now, those whispers were tempting me, pulling me closer. Now is the perfect time to hit the subscribe button, share, comment, and like this story. It's how you can keep me bringing you more stories and confessions. Please subscribe, and trust me, you don't want to miss out on the end of the story. Let's go. Before, I would see posts about coffin rituals in Facebook groups, and I would pray for the lost souls who seemed desperate to turn to these dark practices. But after my life fell apart, I started to see things differently. Maybe those people weren't lost. Maybe they were just like me, drowning, desperate for a lifeline. One night, while drinking at a local bar, a friend mentioned a man who could change my life. He can turn things around for you, but it won't be cheap, he warned. You will get what you want, but know what you are going into. You'll be dealing with spirits that don't play around. I was desperate and fearless, so I took my friend's advice. That's how I ended up meeting a man from Benin. He didn't look like a traditional healer. He was just a welder doing odd jobs around. You would never believe if I told you I crossed the border to Benin with him illegally, chasing the promise of a new life. When we got to his village in Benin, he took me into a dark mud hut for the rituals. There was no turning back. He told me no matter what happened, you have to follow the rules. Break them and you would go mad, eating out of trash cans. The rituals were terrifying, but I did what I had to do. OJ, when we were done, he handed me a needle and told me, when you go back home, sleep at your mother's house and place this needle under your bed. Then flush it down the toilet the next morning. I did as he instructed, not knowing that my mother would fall sick right after and pass away. When I saw her spirit, she accused me of killing her. I didn't understand, but the healer confirmed that she had been the sacrifice. From that moment on, money started flowing in. I moved out of town, bought a new house, and started living the life I had dreamt of on the outside. But that's where the coffin comes in. The healer warned me that I had to sleep in it every night or I would lose my mind. I keep it in a room no one else is allowed to enter, not even my maid. I pay her very well, but I've made it clear, never enter that room. When I bring a woman home, I have to sneak away, pretending I'm working late, just so I can lock myself in that coffin. Then, if I want to sleep with her again, I come back out, and afterwards, I retreat to my prison of wood and darkness. It's the weight I carry, the price for the life I chose. It doesn't matter how much money I make. The fear of losing it all and the fear of going mad keeps me chained to that coffin every single night. This is my story, OJ, a life of luxury, haunted by a debt I can never truly pay. You don't want to miss out on this confession on how an MP uses used condoms for rituals. Maybe he wants to win politics.